Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and we've got this week's official prices. Before we get started, if you're into reactions, reviews, news, Warhammer painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, make sure to like and subscribe. So we see our Sunday preview and a bunch of new models and boxes coming out this week. Let's take a look at our value compared to our price. So, first and foremost, we have the new box, the Echoes of Doom. This one includes the new Skaven character, new Sylvaneth character, and then 5 new Sylvaneth models as well. Quite a nice force here. I think it's over 40 models in total. And we did the breakdown on this, and it comes out to roughly $200 worth of retail Skaven and $200 worth of retail Sylvaneth. Also includes your Warscroll Cards, some campaign missions and background setting, etc. And then also a condensed rulebook with all the rules in it, but the mini sized. Total retail on this will be over $400. And the price on this, and I've said it already before, this is going to be an amazing value, and it is in fact. The Age of Sigmar Echoes of Doom is $195, or if you are in Canada, it is $230. So at $195, this comes in right along with what we would expect from our recent sets like the Fury of the Deep. Again, great value, over 50% off retail. This is a killer box right here. Definitely going to be picking this one up. This is a great deal, and I imagine it's probably going to fly off the shelves as well. Sylvaneth, not necessarily the most popular faction, but with some new kits, models, characters, potentially, you know, the book and everything too. Who knows? Maybe they're going to be pretty competitive here again. And then obviously Skaven always have pretty popular overall, have some nice builds and everything, and again really nice models in this set. Definitely excited to see a new model. We've seen some newer models also coming out in like the Underworlds Warhammer and whatnot. I'd really like to see more of the range redone or updated, as some of the models are pretty dated. But overall, great looking box set full of awesome models and over 50% off retail. Great deal. Definitely going to be picking this one up. Let me know if you are interested in that one as well. So then next we have the Combat Patrol Adeptus Custodes. So right along with the rest of the Combat Patrols, this is USD 150 or Canadian 180. At 150, the breakdown on this is pretty simple. $60 for the bikes, $60 for the guard, that's $120, and then you're basically paying $30 more for two $55 squads. So it's another $110 for the Sisters of Silence. You're paying $30 for them, so you're basically getting one squad and some change for free. Overall, nice box set. Previously, there was no discounts or any way really to pick up Custodes. They had the Shadow Throne box, which had some Custodes in it for a discount. Wasn't super popular. I think this is a really good deal right here. Probably most people not going to need more than one of these, as I think typically most armies are going to take, you know, 1 or 2 squads of Sisters of Silence. Not often going to see more than 2. But if you did take some larger squads or you built the character, etc., it could definitely be worth it. And again, you might be about to buy a box of bikes and a box of Custodian Guard at retail price and just say, hey, for $30 I get another 110 more models, and pull the trigger. So overall, I have to say this is a good deal. It's fairly competitive, right in line with most of the combat patrols now. You could argue that if the Sisters of Silence are 55 retail, that you would rather just have another Custodes unit in this box set or something of that sort. I still think it's a good deal. I think it's nice, and it's a good foundation to build on top of. So that being said, definitely a big one. Not going to be picking this up, but only just because I have so many Custodes and Sisters of Silence already. But if you did have the Shadow Throne box set, this would go okay with it also. You'd be adding in some Terminators, you'd be adding in a cool character, but you're adding in more Sisters of Silence, which again, you know, they're not bad or anything, but most armies are probably going to take like 1 5-woman Persecutor squad sitting on like back objectives, maybe 2, and then kind of advancing forward with their Custodes. But there are restrictions. You can't take more of the Sisters troops than you take Custodes troops. So if you're going to take 2 Sisters troop squads, you're going to need to do at least 2 3-man squads of Custodes as well. So you're going to be 1 model short. But that being said, lots of ways to build on top of this. Overall, it's a nice set. It would be competitive. There's a million ways you can configure it to make it higher or lower in points, etc. So overall, great box set. Glad to see someone, a way for someone to get a discount on Custodes going into the future, as they are not often discounted. We've only seen them in a couple boxes since their inception. So next we have the Adeptus Custodes Blade Champion. This dude is a savage. A lot of people overlook him in combat, and he is really, really good. Very, very survivable. Quite a key player in your army. Now, since he is a Space Marine or larger character that is not a unique like special character or named character, we expect him right at that $38 price point, which is exactly where he comes in at. So $38 for the Blade Champion. Awesome model. Comes with different arms to take, like the dual swords. Comes with different heads. Very good looking model. Super cool and dynamic. Next we have the Reductus Saboteur. So the Reductus Saboteur for Genestealer Cult again came in that Shadow Throne box as well. This one is coming in at $35, right in line with the rest of the Genestealer Cult characters. Very nice looking model. Got a couple of options as well. You can swap out the heads. Comes with pretty cool overall look to it. Definitely like the Genestealer Cult models, even though I'm not a player. Alright, and then next, getting into our Warcry. Okay, so for Warcry, we have the Dark Oath Savages and the Tarantulos Brood. That being said, the Dark Oath Savages coming in at $60 or 70 Canadian. And the Tarantulos Brood again at $60 or 70 Canadian. Really cool teams. Definitely very nice looking. Come with your cards. Come with your faction card. Everything you need, obviously, to play these war bands. So these 2 bands come from the Red Harvest game. And at $60 a piece, that's $120 for these war bands. And then the actual Red Harvest game comes in at $220. So for another $100, you can get the rest of the box, which is basically, the book, the actual cards for the game, like your terrain cards, all that good stuff. You get all the terrain, the board, the dice. So arguably, if you were thinking about buying one or both these, it may be worth considering the Red Harvest box set. So and then speaking of the Red Harvest box set, here is the Ravaged Lands scenery. So the Red Harvest box set has been divided up into 2 sets of scenery, basically just right down the middle. And it is the Varanite Syphon camp and the Pit Dredger camp. Each of these coming in right where we would expect. So we know that, pre-recent price hike, these probably would have been $100. And then with the new price hike, 12% increase, we see them at $112 or $135 Canadian. So if we do the breakdown now that we've seen these terrain sets, both these terrain sets together would come in $112 and $112. So that is $224. So if you bought those 2 terrain sets versus you bought the box set, you would get all the same terrain. You would save $4. You would get both of these war bands for free. You would get the book. You would get the dice. You would get the cards. The only thing that you would get less of, you would get only 1 token sheet instead of 2 because 1 comes with each. And you would get only 1 board instead of 2 because 1 comes with each. So a substantial savings over buying these items separately. Matter of fact, it is 112 and 112 is 224 plus 60 and 60 is 120. So that's 344 without giving any price to the book, the dice, or the other cards. So at 344, again, I would say by the time you take into account the book, the dice, and the cards, even if we said $40 for the book, that's $388. $30 for the dice, that is, $418. And then the cards on top of that as well. When it's all said and done, this is like basically you're getting a 50% discount if you just buy the box set over these. Now, do we know if the box set is going to be going away soon? We don't know for sure. We know typically there's only 1 big box of Warcry available at a time. Sometimes there's a little overlap. but we know there's some new stuff coming down the pipe. So this probably is not going to last much longer, but the Red Harvest box is still available. So if you're thinking about buying a couple of these components separately, maybe worth considering the Red Harvest box. I purchased that Red Harvest box myself. The models are phenomenal. The game is super cool, and the terrain is amazing as well. So obviously, I would recommend that. And then we have a couple of books coming up next here. So we have the hardback novel, God's Bane. That one's coming in at $27 or 32 Canadian. We have also there's a couple other things maybe just not listed on here that are on the actual pre-order price list as well. Let me see what we missed. Echoes of Doom we got, Ravaged Lands. Okay, so yeah, I think we took care of everything. So yeah, when it's all said and done, no big surprises here. This is all pretty much what we expected. Obviously glad to see this coming in at $195. Great deal. I will definitely be picking that one up. I love both factions, and all these models are phenomenal, and it is a great deal. Again, Custodes, I would pick this up if I didn't already have countless Custodes. So very nice. Definitely going to be, picking them up in the future. As again, if you're just going to buy a regular squad of Custodes or a squad of bikes, or arguably the sisters, you really do get a nice bonus in the set, getting over one and a half of these squads basically for free. Again, already have the Blade Champion. He is awesome. Definitely recommend it. Already have the Reductus Saboteur, but obviously do not play Junestealer Cult. And then again, already have the Red Harvest set as well. Highly recommend this one. And it's not until we see the individual items and their prices that you realize just how great of a deal that Red Harvest set is. So that is it for this week's pre-order prices. So let me know what you think down below. Always like to hear your guys' opinions. What are you excited for? You interested in picking up one of these individual models now? Been putting it off so you didn't have to buy the box set or missed out on the box set? Are you going to be scoring up one of these big boxes, starting a Custodes army or expanding on one? Or are you and a buddy going to be splitting the Skaven versus Sylvaneth? Echoes of Doom. Always curious to hear your feedback. We'll be doing some unboxings on some of this stuff and discussing it, kind of showing off what comes inside of it as well. If you're into reactions, reviews, news, unboxings, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, pretty much Horus Heresy, any Games Workshop, tabletop, war games, make sure to like and subscribe. It is free for you, and it definitely does help out the channel. Also, do appreciate everybody that takes the time to interact, engage, and leave a comment down below, as that really helps, again, with exposure and, engagement. So, thank you very much. That's it for today, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.